You know, Elaine, I liked the Wonka film, but I do have one complaint. Too much alcohol. Why was there so much alcohol in it? Too much drinking. Bad influence. And I was very upset about that until I went to my local library.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but let's pretend I did. And I picked up the newest text, the Wonka movie novelization by Shabelle Pounder. And this woman, she has righted the evil sins that Wonka commits because nary a drop of brandy is spilt within this novel, Elaine.
Oh, thank goodness.
Perhaps the most major change is the lack of alcohol. That's not true. It kind of is. But it's the biggest change.
The book with no booze.
Versus additions. There are additions.
More milking of giraffes, perhaps?
Actually not much there, but there's some other things. We'll talk
Maybe
about
that's
it.
for the best, honestly.
I did have a moment as I read this movie novelization where I said, do I like the movie novelization more than I like the movie? And I said, that's the best, that is the most Felicia take you could have, that I think the movie novelization is better. Now, did I like it because it was a better story, or did I like it because the entire thing was narrated by Patterson Joseph? And I'm starting to wonder, do I like Wonka, or am I just a fan of Patterson Joseph, the actor who plays Slugworth? Because
that's totally fair.
He is the best part of that film. And I'll tell you, I listened to him narrate the audiobook. He could have done it all himself. They didn't need anybody.
The one-man show, Patterson Joseph, is all Wonka.
His voice for Prodnos and for Bleacher were shockingly accurate. Like, they would make me do a double shake. Patterson Joseph
is he the Duke of Wonka Watch?
The what?
The Duke of Wonka Watch?
I will gladly say it. I'm just saying, give him a supporting actor nom.
Yes.
And honestly, if he won, he should win.
He should win. He had amazing delivery. He was a great singer, also.
Never has a man delivered the word bee's knees so incredibly.
Oh, truly. Marshmallow?
Just as a reminder to everyone, we get another take on the classic line of Marshmallow.
Oh, it's not just chocolate, is it? Slugworth said, unable to hide how much he was enjoying it. There's marshmallow.
Incredible. He's the
I
best.
could listen to that on loop. I could listen to that on loop, and it would bring me out of my deepest depression. I don't need my meds anymore. I just need Patterson Joseph reading sillies to me. Wow. Well, I can't wait to hear about all these additions.
We'll be getting more into it today. But yeah, today we're covering the movie novelization of Wonka. And you know what? This podcast has recently felt like a bit of it's like our senior year. We're almost out of the doors, you know? So while we do still enjoy doing it, you know, it feels different for us right now. And this gave me that spark back of reading an obscure piece of Wonka thing and getting real into it. Because I've read the audiobook. Elaine has not. Well, listen to the audiobook. I listen to the audiobook on Spotify. Elaine has not.
Which honestly, my friends should thank me. And we should all thank Felicia, because I was prepared. I went to IKEA with my friends, so we were going to be trapped in a car for 2 hours. And I was like, okay, guys, we're going to have to listen to this Wonka novelization audiobook. And then it changed, and we just got a Blast Womanizer by Britney Spears. So
now, I do think you would have had a good time.
I mean, maybe if I'm thoroughly convinced, I'll do it after this episode. But the second I said that was a fucking lie. I'm not touching that thing ever. But, you know, maybe.
You don't want to hear Patterson Joseph say bee's knees?
If you give me timestamps, honestly, I'll just go back and forth on that. That's what I'll do.
I may pull up his Timmy voice, because it is that one is unique, and I do have notes on the Timmy voice. But the Timmy voice and the Noodle voice are like pretty similar.
Damn.
But that's just how it is. It's I would say pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, I'm here to report back. I think this works that Elaine sacrificed her body for Wonka last week, and I sacrificed my mind for Wonka this week. You know, this episode.
Yes.
So I'm Felicia.
I'm Elaine.
And we're the hosts of Wonka Watch, the podcast that was counting down to Wonka, but now Wonka's out. So we're just kind of cleaning up the dredges.
The ball has dropped, and we've got our brooms out, and we're sweeping up all the candy wrappers.
Leftovers. We're eating the leftovers right now.
Just nothing but Wonka's perfectly purple pancakes.
Yep.
And we're ready for a steak.
We are ready for something real. Normally, we would go into Wonka Watch news, but because I'm going to be talking all episode, I felt like, we probably don't need it. But I do have a bit of news that is like Wonka Watch specific that I just want to bring up with you. We've had a lot of debate recently about the pot on the podcast, the teapot pot prediction.
Yes.
And I'm going to play a clip for you to maybe explain why I came at you so hard. This is from, what is it? This is from episode, the episode where we went over Wonka trailer 2, where we talk about what predictions might have an outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just an audio clip from that.
This is another one. Someone will wear a pot on their head. Elaine, will this count if he has the teapot in the hat that's on his head? Because it has to, right?
Well, it depends on if he
has the hat on, pulls it off, and pulls.
I guess
we're
gonna have to come up with, I don't know. Because for some of these we've been really cruel on ourselves and we've had to be very specific.
Have we? Oh, have we? Have we? Let's continue.
Well, that's what's
To get
very
it
close
right.
in the right area.
The right area for sure. A kitchen wearing a hat. I mean, what are the odds of that?
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, if it was like a plate in a hat. If
He has it on his head and then he takes it off. I think
it has to be
so.
correct. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, there's no way. If it is that, if he just pulls it out of the hat, it's in the right area because that's too.
Yes.
It's too close not to count.
He had it on his head the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was so incensed in the episode, because I thought we agreed on this. This was a resolution we came to as a team. And
I can
suddenly you
respect
betrayed
that.
me.
I feel like I've matured as this podcast has continued.
Fuck
And
off. Let me
Wait,
have
hold on,
this. Let me
sorry, I need to pull up my notes app. Hold on. Lowercase. Hi, everybody. I am shocked and appalled at myself, as I know you already are. Felicia is a wonderful human being, and I can't believe that I gaslit her like a stove for the teapot to boil over that became the disgusting mess of what we worked on together. I will continue to work on myself and learn from this moment. I will be doing community service. No, I won't. But I will be. Thank you for this learning opportunity. I love you. Less than 3. Okay, that'll go out on my Instagram later. Are we good now?
Beautiful. Yeah, that works. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've knocked my microphone off in excitement. I was trying to get this Chalamet clip to go, after you finish the apology, but it didn't work.
Oh,
and it also
man.
wouldn't have been that funny. So I'm glad it didn't work. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I'll be honest, I was talking to my friend Jill, and she was like, didn't Elaine agree with you on this in the past? And I said, yes, this is why I was so upset.
I guess it was more like I was like, in the honor of the prediction, perhaps, yes. And I have forgotten, but I will stand by. I don't agree in life that a teapot is a pot, but I respect that I changed my mind.
I like that. I like that you took issue with it on a completely different reason.
Yeah.
The teapot and the pot was not even in your mind at that point. You were not.
And to be honest, Felicia, I kind of forgot about it. But you have brought forth, you have combed through to bring forth the evidence. The trial of the people.
The trial of me. I just was like, I need to bring this up.
Wonka Watch literally will defeat me. This is how it goes. This is it. This is the lasting reputation I get to be Teapot Gate.
All right. Do you want to talk about the movie novelization?
All about this novelization. I'm thrilled to hear what new goodies we've gotten.
This book clocks in at about 320 pages, but the audiobook's only 4 hours. So big font. Big font. Don't worry.
Gorgeous.
It was a nice, quick read. And honestly, I genuinely enjoyed my time. I think Patterson Joseph did a great job as the narrator, and I think the book was fine.
Oh, good. Okay. That's honestly I don't dabble with movie novelizations, but I feel like the fact that you even were able to engage with it in an enjoyable manner should say a lot about it as a novelization.
I think the things she added were good. But here's the thing. We don't know what she added necessarily, because it is very clearly based on the screenplay. It says on the cover, based on the screenplay by Paul King and Simon Farnaby. And there are some things that lead me to believe that some of these things were just an earlier draft that got changed. Okay. Because remember, there was a lot of reshoots for Wonka. I don't imagine they'd have her write this in the last year. I assume it was probably written prior to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Based on publishing timelines, I've worked in publishing. She would have at least needed 8 to 10 weeks just for the printing process.
Right.
And they would want to do marketing for, So for sure, that would not have happened.
Exactly. I assume this was written probably around when the first cuts of the film were being made. Do you know what I mean? So I assume this was probably based on the final script. But what is filmed from the final script does not always make it into the movie. And that's something that is a weird spot for us because we will never be able to know what would have been in the film versus what is a Chabelle Pounder original.
Oh, that's so true.
So these are things to contemplate. Are some of the structural changes she made because it's a novel? And putting it into this book, or were they it that way in the original script? Like, there's certain differences that just make more sense if it was just a change over time. Because I'm like, why would she change that? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing to mention: this book is not a musical. I don't know why I thought it would be a musical. As soon as 12 Silver
the lyrics would just pop
happening, and he wasn't dancing. I was like, oh, I guess it won't be.
I would have loved nothing more than if they inserted the lyrics but still had it as like pretending it's regular dialogue.
A little bit, but not too much.
So the book is not a musical. Good to know.
The book is not a musical. Don't worry. I felt so stupid when I realized. I was like, what did you think was going to happen, bitch? Like, what did you think? But I was like, oh, they're not doing a song. It's like, how would they?
There's just a QR code on the page and like, now please take a moment to go listen to the song.
Truly.
You may now re-enter the text. I love that.
So let's start with my notes because I have a lot of them. So we start with a prologue with the first sentence is, some people are born to be chocolate makers. This is certainly true of Wonka.
Oh.
So our prologue is the flashback with him and the mom.
Okay.
So we learned some more about where they live. Willie slept in a bed on the boat and the mom slept in the armchair. I don't think that was clear in the film. So there you go. Fun details. He has a very explicitly Bucket-like upbringing in the sense that there's a quote here: the Woodworms ate more at that table than the Wonkas ever did. So there you go. Very intense. Willie's favorite. Okay, this was a bit of lore that never showed up. Fun fact, everyone: Willy Wonka's favorite part of the riverbank where he grew up was the big willow tree, and he considered it a member of his family.
Oh,
very sad. So this was where I got really excited. So the whole opening is his mom making the chocolate for him, the yearly bar. But then she's like, "But I have another present for you." And I heard this and I said, "Oh my God, am I excited to talk about Wonka?" She says, the magician in town was selling it. It's his fucking coat. We get a coat origin story. And I was like, Elaine and I are the only people in the world who care about the coat origin.
It's a magician's coat?
Yes.
Bro.
It's a magician's coat. It's way too big for him. And she's like, oh, he'll grow into it. Like he's like swimming in it. And Elaine, it came with the hat.
Shut the fuck up.
It came with the hat.
Shut the fuck up.
So we get a hat and coat origin. And that's when I knew this novel was going to be special for me.
Oh my God.
You and I are the only people in the world who care about this. And I was like,
I'm genuinely taking a moment to be like, we have an answer.
We have an answer.
It's so good. Well, then, and that, so that even makes it better when he does all the tricks with the hat. Magician's hat.
And the hat is crazy in this book. The hat has some special abilities in this book that I'm not sure we're going to get into. So chapter 1, City of Dreams. So this is the first thing that I was like, whoa, hold on. We need to do math because it says now 7 years later. This is placed exactly 7 years later after the flashback. If we assume the flashback is happening at the same time as the flashback in the movie to that same age, which he has to be young because he will grow into the coat. He is not an adult. He's not like a late teen. He will grow into the coat. Colin O'Brien in the flashback was around 11, the actor who played it. Wonka's 18, at the oldest 19.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that is...
Wow.
And I will be honest, we got an email from Luke, our friend Rhino Stu, and he said, do you know Wonka's age? I said, fun fact, I figured it out yesterday. Here you go. He's 18. Which I don't believe he's 18. But here's the thing. Do we take this movie novelization as truth? Or was this more explicit in the script? We don't fucking know.
That's true. That's fair.
I mean, you could maybe put him at 12. And then he's 19.
But he just seems so much like at least early 20s, though. Especially based on like I guess life experience. That's really interesting.
It was wild. So I don't know. Like, there's not much more to say on it for that, but I just
That's very interesting, though.
That Wonka's supposed to be around 18, which is crazy to me.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, another big note for us: the cane is addressed. It is his own creation. He made the cane himself. There we go.
He's such a fashion icon, little Wonka.
I know. Truly. Actually, they clown on him for that later. He gets his 12 sovereigns. It was the most amount of money he's ever held in his hand. There is a chance that some of the things I wrote down did happen in the movie, and I just forgot. So just know that.
Totally
the
fair.
captain gave it to him as wages and for all the sick-ass chocolate he made. So I don't know. Was he working on the boat in the thing?
I don't think he was. I think he just had these 12 silver sovereigns and then just good luck, Willie. Yeah.
I think he was given the money, but I don't know. I don't remember.
He just kept jingling it in his pocket.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I forgot the way he leaves the scene. So Wonka jumps on a crate to get off the boat, and the crate is like being hauled up by a crane, and it's traveling off the boat. Wonka jumps up onto the crate, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing? The crate is moving. The crane is moving the crate. Stop doing that." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, guys, it's fine." He dives headfirst off of it, does some flips in the air, and then goes, "Fuck, I did not think this through." But he lands on a truck, so he's good. So he like almost died in the first opening page. This book is a little more nuts. Like, this book is a little bit more unhinged, which is why when I said, do I prefer movie novelization Wonka? A little bit, because I think she re-injected some of the Wonka juice that was missing a little bit. And in little ways that I didn't notice. That was like, oh, that would have helped, you know?
Yeah, that's really fucking good.
Wonka denies a cologne salesman by saying I only fragrance myself with chocolate. I only fragrance myself with chocolate. So
life.
Wonka, Willie also thinks the Gallery Gourmet should have scratch and sniff walls. He just thinks that would be an improvement on the situation.
Okay. This is checking. I mean, and this is no shade to 18 and 19-year-olds. I think anyone could feel this wild, but younger Wonka is definitely checking out for this.
Yes.
You know?
Especially this next part. He thought of the cartel as essentially a boy band. 4 great chocolatiers, 4 great friends standing together side by side. Like, he was having these like fantasies where he's like in the squad and they like all go out golfing together, you know?
Oh my God.
He does still have the daydream sequence, even though it's not part of the song, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And he was going up to people and offering them invisible items out of his hat. So he's a little nuts.
Oh my God.
Wonka also spends most of his time daydreaming. So that's just
dissociating.
Disassociating, maladaptive daydreaming. Maybe get some help for that. I wrote here as a note, I don't like I'm still so emotionally attached to Wonka. I am. I don't like it, but I am.
Dude, I feel ya.
Also, in the book, I don't know if this happened in the movie, but the coin fell through a hole in his pocket. He didn't fuck it up.
Oh.
I don't think I picked up on that.
Yeah, or no. He flipped it, tried to get it in his pocket, and it completely missed his pocket.
In the book, he got it, but it just fell through a hole in his pocket.
That's a little more depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the details people need to know and decipher.
Chapter 2, Scrub It and Bleacher. So Wonka is trying to sleep on this bench. He puts that, and I'm not talking about the major plot because we know the plot of the movie. You guys know it. We're just talking about, Wonka puts his hat over his face and is described as staring into the dark abyss of the inside of his hat. Which is one of the funniest lines because his hat's fucking crazy. Bleacher comes up. He knocks on the hat. Willie pulls a lever on the rim of the hat and the top of it flaps open like a door.
What the fuck? What the fuck? This hat is so heinous. What the fuck?
There's so many hat and coat mechanics in this. Like, what is going on?
Utility fashion, I guess.
I took notes on this like 2 days ago and I forgot all of it. I'm like, whoa, this is all new to me.
I mean, this is a lot to take in.
Right?
And so strange.
But like,
I can see that. But here's the thing. I can see that scene so vividly.
And that's what I mean, where I could see that of being in the original script and they just cut it for time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what, I don't know what is an original. I think Shabelle Pounder did add some good stuff in here, but I don't know who, where what originates from.
Yeah.
Wonka says he wishes he came in summer, and Bleacher says, this is the height of summer. And either that's a joke, or we are in the North Pole, or potentially Australia. Have we ever considered Australia? Because isn't their winter the summer?
We have considered at one point that Wonka's factory could have been in Australia. That is something that we have said at one point. We had debunked it for something else, but like that has been thrown out before in the podcast.
But I just wanted to mention, I guess maybe, right? Because like their summer is
whoa,
wild. Bleacher says, Tiddles has taken a liking to your backside. And Willie said, I bet it's not my bottom, it's my trousers. They're vintage. So
Gene Wilder would be so stoked.
Yeah, and then he talks about getting them from a postman, but I bet it's not my bottom. I'm doing the Patterson Joseph Wonka voice. I just realized I was imitating that one because that's what I read this through.
I mean,
I'll give you
perfect through this lens. I think it's great.
I do think you should get a taste of the Wonka voice because it's what I have stuck in my head now, and I like can't get Timothée Chalamet back.
Oh yes, please.
I want to do my Timothée Chalamet impression. I bet it's not my bottom, it's my trousers. They're vintage. That's kind of him, right? Is that him? I was looking at my podcast. Bitch, the Wonka audiobook is not a podcast.
You just keep playing more slanderous things about me. You're like, and actually, this is the roast of a lip.
She loved lying. Is this it?
And fine beautifully with his brisk walk. Bleacher grinned. Good. What luck, Willie marveled. I'm so glad to have met you. Me too, Bleacher said in a voice so close to a growl the dog could have said it. Me too.
Wild book. Where's this fucking...
Surprisingly like a gruff. And with every flaw, Willie's eyes traveled up.
Okay, well, there you go. There's
wow.
your...
Patterson Joseph, amazing job.
It is just a generic American, but it does the job. When they go to the Scrubbin' and Beecher place, this is where the lack of alcohol in this book gets a little nuts. So remember how Bleacher's like, oh, do you want a glass of brandy?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In this, it's worm water. Now, worm water is a goopy gray sludge that smells like vinegar and mustard from a swamp. When he drinks it, Wonka goes, there's something definitely alive in there. So they're eating worms. They just drink worms.
That's horrible and disgusting. It is funny because like you'll have like a worm in tequila, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
But like what the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, the worm water is described so gross throughout this book. And it's consistent.
My God.
In his hat, after the teapot snafu, he pulls out a series of handkerchiefs, a bunch of carrots, and then they hear an angry neigh from within the hat. Who's Wonka's horse? Why is he's got a horse in there? Or he has a horse sound maker, which is also crazy. Because
I like the idea of him having a sound mixer in there.
Otherwise, his hat is like a pocket dimension, which it does kind of seem to be. Like it seems like it's Mary Poppins' bag. He has a real Mary Poppins thing going on in this movie.
He really does.
Like, so Mary Poppins.
Maybe that's like his aunt and they don't know, you know?
That would make sense. He looks like it.
Totally.
So instead of saying, read the fine print, Noodle pretends to choke herself and die after pointing at the contract. And Wonka interprets this as, if I eat the contract, I'll choke to death. Obviously. And he is like aggressive. He is aggressively pretending he knows how to read, making comments like, oh, I like what you did with that paragraph. This Wonka, I kind of wish some of the sprinkles of this Wonka, like the sprinkles added to this Wonka, were in the original. Because he's just like a little more fucked up and way more of a failure in this book. Like he's like kind of a mess in this, which I love. In the nice room he gets delivered to, there is a photo of Tiddles and a poster that says, come for the night, stay forever. But just like Tiddles, big painting of him.
Wow.
You know, so there you get your nice room. Chapter 3, Hover Chalks. So a great example of what I mean when this Wonka's a little bit more of a failure. You know, when he goes up to the crowd, bangs his cane down, pushes the little button, and the flag comes out. Like,
yes,
goes all smoothly. In this, The flag comes out really slowly and with great difficulty. And he goes, just imagine if that was in an instant. And when he says scratch that, reverse it, Noodle literally rolls her eyes because she's watching. She's like, this fucking bitch. I swear to God. Yes. So it was meant to suck. Wonka's also so nervous during this, his hands are shaking, which I'm like, I feel like that's a good character detail.
That is, because he does come off so like confident.
Like he's got it, you know?
Yeah.
I believe this Wonka is 18.
Yes.
I don't believe Timmy Wonka is 18.
Agreed. I'm wondering if in final script they're like, okay, up it a bit, even though time-wise, you know. But yeah, no, this Wonka is 18 totally makes sense.
Yeah. Most people eat the chocolate cartel's chocolate every day, which that's wild. Wonka saw a photo of Slugworth in a newspaper and committed it to memory and always pictured him as a mentor figure. So he just had like their posters on his wall.
That's his little boy band. I mean, he loves the boy band. I mean, that's absolutely wild and adorable and just, oh, honey.
Here's another quote from the book. He once heard that Slugworth always wore a suit, even as pajamas. That's how professional he was. I that one got a giggle out of me. I thought that one was good. Then the worst line Wonka says, and I love it. I want to be so clear. I love this line. I wish it was here. Wonka goes, the chocolate trinity here in the flesh. He says that to them. He says that to them.
The chocolate trinity.
Fun little side note. It's rumored that Prodnose's toupee is made from the fur of his dead cat. That plot got dropped, but it features in this a lot.
What the
dead cat toupee? Kill the cat for it.
I feel like this could explain a lot more about Matt Lucas's Prodnose if we had been allowed to have that origin story, and why there's just an unsettling kookiness that didn't hit.
I do think Patterson Joseph should have played them as twins, though.
Oh my God, that would have been so fucking good. If Patterson Joseph had played all of them,
I would have. Oh my God.
Oh,
if Patterson Joseph had played every part in this film,
it's so good.
After the chocolate cartel turns them down, Slugworth is like, "Oh, it's fine, Willie. There's lots of other careers." And Fickle Grubber goes, "Although I'd avoid fashion." So,
because that's a low blow.
Loves his suits. He loves his suits. We get talked about his suits a lot. Also, fun fact: I looked to see if there was a modest shipping community between Fickle Grubber and Wonka. There's not, but there is between Slugworth and Fickle Grubber and the whole chocolate cartel. I was like, great guys.
The chocolate trinity, if you will.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I wrote here Billy O was in the book, and then I just put in parentheses bad. That was too real. So as they're flying off away, Prodnose's wig falls off, and on the inside are 3 numbers Wonka spots. So that's a fun Chekhov's gun.
What?
We'll get back to the numbers later.
Oh my
Chapter
God.
4. Always read the small print. Larry Chucklesworth is a clown. He's not a comedian. He is a clown in this book.
I still hate him.
These were the things where I was like, was he always meant to be a clown? Because if we think about Delicatessen, there's the big clown in that.
Yeah.
That's very clown focused. That seems like it could have been how the script was originally. But also, if this is written for children, maybe clowns resonate more than comedians do, and that's fair. But the film is also for children.
People are terrified and hate clowns, so maybe we shouldn't and just shift it.
But I do like what they did here, because Larry Chucklesworth, he does the little flower squirt, and Wonka is like, oh my God, that's fucking incredible. He's like, it looks like a thing, and then it does something else. And everyone else in the room is like, why the fuck does he like this? And he goes, Larry, you and I are going to get along great. And I actually liked that everyone hates Larry except for Wonka. And Wonka's like, this bitch is my ride or die. I liked that. I enjoyed that. If that was in there, that would have justified Larry more to me.
Yeah.
Wonka is specifically on Sud's duty, and within 30 seconds of picking up the work, he says he's tired of it. So I wanted to. They do not sing scrub scrub, but they do chant scrub scrub.
That's unfortunate.
A little ominous.
That's a little spooky.
And then we get some light Hugo Loompa shadowing, like he goes to bed and then hears some footsteps around his room. So we get some light Hugo Loompa foreshadowing, but that's about it. And I think he spots Hugo Loompa. Chapter 5, Silver Linings. Immediately upon talking to Noodle, Willie's like, I don't know how to read. Like, it comes out of him really quick, which I feel like quicker than it did in the movie. I know it came up quick in the movie, but it felt quicker. So here we go. Noodle asks Willie what happened to his mom, and he says that she died very suddenly, and since he was alone, he boarded a ship and just started traveling right afterward.
Okay. That makes sense.
It makes sense, but it does face him like firmly at 18. There's no way to get around it, you know?
Yeah, which that's like a lot of life to live and experience and travel at such a young age.
Which
that's a lot.
That I do think him being older than he, like feeling older than he looks, does make sense in that regard. If his mom died when he was 11 and he's had to basically take care of himself ever since, you would grow up fast.
Yeah.
Do I still find it insanely unbelievable that Timmy Wonka is supposed to be 18? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's something there.
Yeah.
Wonka does explicitly say he hopes that when he shares chocolate with the world, his mom will somehow be there and maybe share the secret. So it is a Ghost Mama Wonka situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Chapter 6, The Vault. The police are going to the vault and Fickle Gruber is making himself a chocolate martini. Just a nice little chocolate martini.
I love that.
Instead of a musical number, they convince him by upping the number of chocolates, just like as they talk. And then Fickle Grubber pulls a switch and chocolate starts raining down from the ceiling. So that was fun. That was new.
I love that.
Guess it's a fun little spectacle. Chapter 7, The Aristocrat. I was very disappointed. My favorite line was changed. Show a little thigh and make her sigh. Was changed too. You could change the outfit, show off a little leg. Which I was like, that makes sense. Because I did feel like that line wasn't wild.
Yeah, and honestly, reading that in a book where it can be really open to interpretation, how it's emphasized and stuff, I could see that being hard to wrangle.
I do think Timmy emphasized it in the way that was the worst.
Yeah. He
made it sound like he was telling like his friend on the playground what a vagina is the way he delivered it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I've got a secret. Scrubbit also uses worm water as a curse word. She's like, holy worm water, whenever she goes and sees something crazy.
No.
So that's fun. Wonka grabs all the laundry equipment and holes himself away in the scrubbing section for a bit. As the other employees hear the clanging, they essentially debate whether or not to do a wellness check on him. They're like, do we need to, is he okay? But he leaves before they do. Wonka cut the patch of his mailman pants out from the ass.
Nice.
Unless bottom is referring to bottom of the leg? I'd assume not. They said there's a hole in the bottom. Pants with a hole in the bottom.
What you doing, Wonka? What you doing?
Why'd you take it out of your ass? Why'd you do that? Now this is one that I wonder why this would have been changed, because the name for the Wonka dog wash machine is different. In the movie, it's the Wild and Wonderful Wishy-Washy Wonka Walker or something like that.
Yeah.
In the book, it's Willy Wonka's Wild and Wonderful Woof-O-Matic Wonka Walker.
Interesting.
So was that the book? Was that the screenplay's original version and they changed it? Or
was that
did
in the
she
original
say,
script?
Your name was shit, I'm fixing it? Wonka escapes and we get the little orange man bit. Does he call Hugo Loompa his nemesis in the movie? I think he does.
I don't remember. I think he might say something very similar to that, if not exactly that.
If he does say he's my nemesis, I want to give that its flowers, because I do think that's a very funny line
So
of him
hilarious.
going, he's my nemesis. And it'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Wonka says it's been happening with the chocolate being stolen. He says it's been happening every week for the past 3 or 4 years. So when Willie was visiting Loopaland, he was 14. He was 14 when he stole the cocoa beans.
So Hugo Loompa has been following
a child.
Teenager. A child.
Yes.
And then, okay, hold on. This child who is, recently lost his mother is trying to find his way in the world. And now is getting haunted by a man he does not know. And has never fully seen. Just glimpses of also. That's horrible. The psychic damage that would do to me.
Now we know why Wonka is the way he is. His mom
it makes
died,
a lot of sense.
Hugo Loompa wouldn't leave his ass alone. No wonder. I'd go nuts too.
No wonder.
You know what? That's everyone's like, why does Wonka get so crazy over the years? Because he fucking stuck with Hugo Loompa. That's why.
He's just always
down,
waiting to hear him around the corner. And all his chocolates get stolen.
And they work together professionally. That must take a toll on him. Is Hugo Loompa the reason why Wonka's crazy? Is that why?
I mean,
I don't
you
know.
double down when someone's going through a traumatic event.
Yeah.
That'll mess with you.
But I do love "he's my nemesis." I hope he says that
That's
in
so
the movie because I
good.
think that line
Yes.
is funny. I can picture him saying it, but I don't know if I'm imagining it because I'm happy.
Right,
about
yeah.
thinking about it. After, Noodle goes, you eating the chocolate would make more sense. He's like, oh yeah, that's true. But then he's like, actually though, I think I'd know if I was eating the chocolate. I would never. No, I actually stand by it. I would know. I'd know, which I liked. And then Noodle is like, I swear to fucking God. And she goes like, stupid silver linings. I don't want to work with you. Why did I think this was a good idea? Which I think she does in the movie, but I'm,
Yeah.
I don't remember everything. And then giraffe milk begins. She asks why. And isn't the movie, it's like it makes the creamiest chocolate or something? Like it makes...
Yeah.
And he says, so my chocolate is head and shoulders above the rest. I kind of like that. It's such a Wonka logic.
It's such a Wonka response too. Yeah.
Chapter 8, The Party Chalk. So here's another case of Big Night Out was not kid-friendly enough for this novel. So now we have The Party Chalk. This is one thing I did like. The candy is a prototype, and Wonka's like, I've never tried this before, so I don't know what's going to happen. We needed some of that in the movie, and I feel like if we had just gotten a scunch more of that would have helped,
Yeah.
So the party chalk recreates the perfect party with food, drink, and a dash of entertainment.
Wow. A dash of entertainment.
That's a quote from the novel.
Oh, amazing.
Except the security guard starts sprinting laps of his office and his feet start steaming because Wonka fucked up the recipe. He eats some party advertisers and stuff. The final layer is the bouncy castle layer, and he bounces up to the ceiling.
Does this man die? Sounds absolutely horrible.
This is more of a Wonka experience. He gets down to the ground, he starts crying, and then Wonka goes, he's feeling his big feelings because he doesn't want to leave the party. And it says he does the sad lip, which I did for Elaine. That's what he does. He's feeling his big feelings because he doesn't want to leave the party.
Wonka, how do you actually feel personally? I feel like there's some personal projection happening here as well.
Yeah.
How many parties do you get invited to as a
None. They go inside. There's the giraffe room, and the giraffe gets like pissed as hell when they call her Abigail. They're like, hey, Abigail. And she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. But then the acacia mint makes her chill out, so it's good. Now this is one thing I appreciate. You know how in the movie when Noodle goes, have you ever done this before? And he goes, once. And I'm like, how old is your milk? He says, of course, much less troubling. Of course he's done it before.
Yeah.
That feels better.
Mm-hmm.
After they milk the giraffe, they do a celebratory dance together. So that's how we get the balloons and things like that. But also this Wonka makes sense to do that. They've established this bitch be dancing. He dances a lot, As they are flying through the air, the flamingo wings are slapping them in the face.
That's good. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
And I just wanted to say that's an animal slapping someone in the face. I just wanted to give a little heart there. I did
and
have
a
moment
bird
where I
having
said,
a personality moment as well.
If one of our
Get it.
predictions comes true in the novel, does it count?
Oh my God, I love that. A whole new section of how to predict.
I don't
go
think
through
anyone did. But the Wonka ice bath, when he gets his head dunked in the ice. After the second dunk, he fully collapses on the floor.
Realistic.
And I guess we're not getting the bonk on the head. He does still get bonked on the head. Do not worry.
But by gravity.
And then, no, he does literally bang him on the head.
Okay.
I thought the collapse was a substitute for the bonk on the head. No, also gets bonked on the head.
Oh, great. Good.
The chief says, the chocolate is making me do it. Truth is, I don't really want to be here. That was a wild line.
Whoa. The chocolate is making me do it is something you should be very concerned about, sir.
I do want to say something. This book did the police chief character without any of the fat phobic jokes and framing it as more of him just being purely addicted to it.
Okay, good.
And it felt fine. Like there was no difference. It worked just as well thematically. And I was like, see, this is what I'm saying. Do you know what? Like it didn't need to have the Roald Dahl undercurrents of fat phobia. It just wasn't in there.
No.
And I will say, like, when I was reading this, I can tell the author was actively trying to emulate Roald Dahl in certain bits. There was an effort made there. I don't think it was perfect, but like it did a good job. It was in the spirit of it. Most of the criticisms that I saw from like reviews of it were that it was too nice and wholesome, and that's not her fault. Like that's the movie. So like, do you know what I mean? I think she did great with what she had. Chapter 9, The Green Ledger. So Wonka comes in the building and Piper is like, "You smell like giraffe, bitch." So he just stinks.
Nice.
Abacus Crunch reveals that the vault is accessed by a secret elevator, which is secured via a 9-digit code that changes daily. The code is split between them, each having 3 of the digits. The toupee. Just a note. The toupee.
The toupee.
Abacus was fined for hiding under a desk. Now, I was in the bathroom, so this might have happened. Did he yell, "I can't believe it, I thought you'd get jail time"?
No, I don't remember.
If he did, funny joke. But in the book, it did make me laugh that he's like, "I got fined for running a desk." He was like, "Oh my God, I thought they give you jail time for that." You would be legally arrested.
Oh my God.
Wonka 10. Wonka 10? Chapter 10. A magic trick.
Oh.
I don't know what the magic trick was in here because I only have 2 bullet points. So who knows? Number 1, Wonka compares the letter A to a giraffe milking stool. So that was fun.
Fantastic.
Number 2, Larry Chucklesworth does his talking underwater thing, and Wonka said, "I was transported, Larry. I really was." And I wish that was in the movie because that's really funny. And he is like such a hard believer in Larry Chucklesworth when no one else likes him.
You were so right. My deep, deep hatred of Larry Chucklesworth would have shifted a smidgy if there was this dynamic where everyone else did actively hate him, but Wonka was really into him. That does add a different little flavor.
Yeah. This Wonka had more of the hypocrisy and bold opinions I look for.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Chapter 11, You've Never Had Chocolate Like This. After the giraffe milk macaroon is administered to Colin, he starts dancing. All the stuff from the song happens. So there you go.
Perfect.
The sewer system became, okay, this is a quote. The sewer system became like a home to Wonka, and he often tipped his hat to the rats.
Oh, that's good. That makes me feel fulfilled as we both wanted more sewer interaction.
And our rats, yeah. He essentially became a cryptid in the town and a local celebrity. They were like, "Where's this bitch? Where's he showing up next?" You know?
Fabulous. Yeah.
He gives people Broadway show, which he did not test on the train because if shit went bad, at least it'd be contained.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. She was like, "This bitch needs to be more nuts." And I appreciate this because those additions make me be like, okay, yeah, I see how he comes into that. Whereas like this Wonka in the movie feels like he's following FDA guidelines. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a little like, he's like, okay,
and
let me
I
try
love
to like
Timmy Wonka. I want to be clear.
Yes.
I still love Timmy Wonka. You won't take him away from me. I won't have anyone twisting my words and say she doesn't like Timmy Wonka. I do. I will defend him.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that these things could have been improved, you know?
Yeah.
So the hair growth, this is also, I think, would have been useful knowledge, and I wonder if this was in the movie, but it just got cut. The hair growth eclairs contain 1 drop of Yeti sweat, and he says any more than that can have dire consequences. I think that would have helped.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that would have worked better. He essentially sold bouncy house sweets to children, making them jump as high as the clouds. So that was fun.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. This book made me realize that his clientele in the film is like adults. No children are buying his shit. Like 2 children eat his chocolate. It's all adults.
I think if we see a lot of kids in that movie.
No, it's like except for Noodle.
Except for Noodle. That's it. Like,
and that one girl with the pigtails and the mustache scene, you know, but other than that, no. So, chapter 12. Gotcha. Hugo Loompa uses a grappling hook to get into Wonka's room. I don't know if that happened in the film, but he did like zip line in.
It might have. I think it might have.
Wonka does say that he wouldn't, they're having the conversation about everything, and he's like, "I wouldn't have stolen the cacao beans if you woke up and like told me. Like I would have let you guys have them," you know, which I think was good to establish with the character, you know. And then Hugh Grant hits him with a flying pan, and Wonka's like, "Oh my God, what a silly accident you've just made, hitting me in the head. That's so silly of you." And then Hugo Loompa stamps on all his fingers and leaves.
Whoa! I love that reaction, though. Oh, you clearly just made an accident. That's so goofy.
So
like,
obviously.
Refuses to acknowledge anyone dislikes him, I think also.
That is a great point, because it's like, is he chronically optimistic, or does he refuse to admit anyone doesn't like him? That's a great point. Okay, chapter 13, the shop. Noodle buys the keys for the shop and gives them to Willie. There we go. Chapter 14, that girl. That we just get some Noodle and Slugworth foreshadowing. Chapter 15, dog. Scrubbit and Bleacher are wearing matching pajamas with tittles on them.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, Slugworth asks to go see the washout, and then Scrubbit and Bleacher see that Tittles is now running the laundry, and they see all the stuff Wonka's using to make the chocolate. So Tittles, just running from the mailman pants, runs the laundry, and also while Wonka mechanized the laundry, he also mechanized some of the chocolate production as well.
Wow.
So there was like stuff going on down there.
Shows that he could build a factory, not just make chocolate, but like can invent the machinery needed.
And then my last note for this chapter is, God, I love the way Slugworth says bee's knees. I want to see if I can get chapter. I want to hit a bee's knees. Bee's knees? Because I need it.
Slugworth turned to Mrs. Scrubbit, a mean glint in his eye. How would you like to help me put them out of business? He said.
Chapter 16, the grand opening. His customer base was also adults in this. There is a real chocolate river in his store, not that weird fake one. Do you remember in the movie? It was like kind of but it wasn't really a chocolate river. It was more just like a facade of a chocolate river.
Yeah.
It's real in this one. And also, here's something I want to address. Oompa Loompa paddleboard. Where was that in the movie? That didn't happen. Do you remember?
Whoa, wait, yeah, what the fuck?
I thought about that recently, and I was like, wait, holy shit, the Oompa Loompa on the paddleboard was never in the... What happened?
What deleted scene became of that?
Give me the deleted scenes.
What the fuck?
Right?
Wait,
Because
that is such a good point.
I wonder if that was them leaving the boat that blew up. Maybe?
Maybe.
But what? Was those cosplayers? They're just cosplaying?
Can you imagine, like, okay, we're going to go take secret photos of set. No one's going to notice. What if we just dress up as two extras? And then the other friend's like, no, we should just dress up as like the main characters. And they'll be like, oh my God, yeah, I'll give them access to everything. And it'll totally work.
We're the stand-ins.
Yeah. That's
Were they just
wild.
hanging out on break?
Oh my gosh. I hadn't even thought of that.
Right? That's what I've been thinking. I'm just like,
footage. What was what was happening there? Man, okay.
So just if anyone has details on Oompa Loompa paddleboard, for context, there was an image of an Oompa Loompa and Wonka on what looked like paddleboards in the middle of a river, and it just like kind of never showed up.
Yeah. That was like the first image that we learned that Oompa Loompas would be in the movie.
Right.
So, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Down the chocolate river comes a chocolate barge boat complete with peppermint lining and filled with head-sized jelly beans.
Oh, wow.
So intense.
Those are big.
Wonka sees the silhouette of someone who looks like his mom and gets really excited, but then realizes it's a stranger. So that's a bummer.
Ooh.
He gives people cupfuls of chocolate from the river, like he does in the future.
Cute.
Wonka's cane unfurls like an umbrella. That was cool.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I'll be honest, movie novelization Wonka made movie Wonka look lame as hell. Because he's sitting on that stupid cloud with a little scoop getting candy out of a bucket. This Wonka rains it from the ceiling and is like, come get it!
Yeah, that's the level of production and fanfare.
Yeah.
We see.
That they didn't have budget for, I guess.
Yeah,
they sell candy floss clouds on a string. The guy who checks out buys 902 sovereigns worth of product, not like the 92 he did in the movie, times 10. They get like $1,000. I think they got 100 in the movie. His hair turns purple and starts
instead
growing.
Of blue. Drama.
Yeah, these are the kinds of things where I'm like, what is the, what is a new addition for the novel, and what's, someone throws a chocolate pear at Wonka.
That's good.
Just a note, and then the fire goes down the same way. Chapter 17. Poison. The barge boat got smashed, and Wonka watched as bits of it sank down to the chocolatey depths. How deep is this river? How deep?
Yeah, whoa. Shit. You made it. Why'd you make it so deep? You don't need it to be that deep. What?
Larry says, I've never been this sad since, well, I'm a clown. I'm sad all the time. So that was fun. Wonka sits alone by himself and has a little cry watching the barge sink. So that was fun.
Nice.
And then the chocolate cartel shows up as Ficklegripper goes to open the briefcase with the money for Wonka. He sees a 3-digit code on the sole of Ficklegripper's shoe.
Oh my God. Why are they hiding their passwords in these places? What the fuck? Why would you be like, I gotta remember these numbers. Let me tape it to the bottom of my shoe.
It changes every day, Elaine. They've got to get it memorized somehow. They can't memorize it. It does. I don't
A
know.
different party part each day. They just rotate out. They're like, okay, time to put it in my underwear. Like, I don't, it's wild.
I shoved the code to the safe up my ass.
Yeah.
So, chapter 18, one-way ticket. This is where Wonka's getting on the boat. As they leave Wonka at the boat, Willie notices that Slugworth's watch is stopped at the wrong time. And this happened earlier, too, and he thought his watch was broken. He's like, that's weird. He's rich as fuck. Why is his watch broken? Anyway, whatever. They get on. You know how Hugo Limpa comes on the boat and is, like, singing a stupid little song? With about premium economy. In this version, Hugo Limpa just offers him an olive.
I love that.
Do you want an olive? And then Hugo Limpa has a mini life vest for herself. It's essentially like, hope you can swim, bitch. Which I liked.
That's good.
Chapter 19, settling the bill. Bleacher forgot he's not an aristocrat and is genuinely shocked when Noodle reveals the scheme. So that's fun.
Also, too into the fantasy.
Yeah, the pigeon coop has a bunch of feces in it, while like shit all over it, which is gross as hell, and they describe it a lot. So then we get the fun scene where Wonka's on the giant ladder, and he is trying to open the padlock of the coop. And while he's explaining the scheme, he eventually is just whacking the padlock because he can't get it open. And I really liked that. I don't know why, but just him like aggressively hitting this padlock while trying to calmly explain his scheme. It was good to me. Chapter 20, 3 letters. So this is where things get crazy.
Oh.
This is our new edition.
Okay.
They sent a letter to Slugworth, which they stamped with a gold W. Miss Bonbon delivers it to Slugworth, interrupting his massage session.
Oh my God.
The letter says essentially, last night, you offered me a deal, which I've decided to decline. I am, however, prepared to offer you a new deal. I'll work for you and you alone. With your nose for business and my talent, we could bankrupt the other 2 members of the supposed chocolate cartel and split the profit 2 ways instead of 3.
Oh, shit.
And the same letter is delivered to Fickelgruber at the
Right.
first suit. And the same letter is also delivered to Prodnose, and it goes down his chimney into the fireplace in his upstairs bathroom where he's taking his afternoon bath. Why do you have a fireplace in your bathroom? Anyway.
Whoa.
He also takes baths. Like, that's his thing.
That makes sense.
The letter ends with telling them to go to different places. So Prodnose goes to the newsstand, Fickelgruber goes to the shoe shine stand, and Slugworth goes to the old school. And Slugworth ends the chapter by saying, Miss Bonbon, fetch my gun! Oh, the gun, yes! He never pulls his gun, but he does ask for it.
Oh my God.
I was surprised. I'm like, you cut out the brandy, but you kept the gun? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting choice, but that's good. Wow.
And we got a lot of Miss Bonbon. I love his delivery of every line. I love it so much. Chapter 21, Uncovering the Code. So Prodnose gets to the newsstand. Larry sneaks up behind him and So Prodnose gets to the newsstand. Larry sneaks up behind him and just honks the clown horn in his ear to scare him, essentially. But then that didn't work, so he just kind of keeps doing the clown horn a bunch, and then his wig eventually flies off.
That's kind of a scene I wish had been in the movie.
Well, actually, what happened in the novel, I think, is he got up and then got too excited and just kept kind of going at it, which I liked. Larry grabs it and Prodnose says, come back here with my cat. I mean, hair. So that's fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah, wild. He gets the numbers and tells Prodnose to meet Wonka at the old copper mine. Fickelgruber, Piper shines his shoes, sees the number on the soles, and relays the same info. For Slugworth, Larry is then again. Slugworth doesn't have his watch on, but as he's leaving, they realize he has a pocket watch. Okay, so then Piper runs after him and just like football tackles him and gets the pocket watch and is like, so sorry, my mistake, and leaves.
Amazing.
Chapter 22, Abigail is on the loose. The same thing happens. No notes. Nothing interesting. Chapter 23, Flamingo Jam. We do not get the security guard romance. No time was spent on that, and I think it could have been used on other things. Slugworth realizes his pocket watch is missing and is like, oh, fuck. Slugworth has a special cartel phone, which calls every member at the same time, Nightmare Group Chat. He asks all of them where they are, and Prodnose is like, I'm in the bath. And he's like, bitch, you're in the car. How are you on the phone in the bath? Shut up. He hears flamingos pecking on all their windows and realizes they're all at the same intersection, I think, because they're all headed to the copper mine. Or at least they're all in the same flamingo jam. Chapter 24, The Vault and the Truth. They enter the passcode and get into the vault. All the confrontation stuff happens, but Slugworth doesn't pull the gun. So we know what happens. They get shoved into the chocolate room. Chapter 25, Death by Chocolate. Did this happen in the movie? Wonka asked the cartel to give Hugo Loompa the jar of chocolate. I don't think that happened.
I don't think so.
No, but it might have. I think he might have, because then do they eat the hover chocks and fly away at the end?
Oh, or yeah. Oh, yeah. He does his like payment. Yeah, he like throws it at them, and then that's when he's like, "Oh, don't eat." Oh, Wonka gives the jar to Slugworth because he takes it, and he's like, "Just whatever you do, don't let like it has to go to the Oompa Loompa if you can pass it on." That was this one thing, and he's
happens.
like,
I just
don't touch it. Whatever. Yeah.
That does happen. So not new. We do get the nutty as a fruitcake line. Just want to say it is Slugworth who says it. They almost drown. Classy. Hugh Grant saves them from in the vault. He does all that stuff. He fixes it. After Wonka is saved, he's so happy he does little somersaults and swims some laps in the chocolate. He's just a little bit more of a cringe fail in this, and I don't know why, because he's technically kind of doing better.
He's a little dorkier, I feel like.
Yes.
A little more of like a baby dweeb kind of thing. He's
dweebier. That is correct.
Little dweebier. Dweeby and derpy kind of vibe.
And he's a little dweeby in the movie too, but he's very dweeby in the book. And I wish some of that dweeb, I am fine with the movie, but I wish some of this dweeb energy was in there.
Yes.
So in this version, you know how Wonka and Noodle see Hugo Loompa, and she's like, "Oh my God, the little orange man is real," you know?
Mm-hmm.
In this version, Wonka's like, "Oh my God, the little orange man saved us." And Noodle goes to look up and he's already gone.
Oh, so good. Oh, that's so good.
Chapter 27, The Empty Jar. The chocolate cartel are fist fighting each other as they float away. I don't think that happened in the movie, and I just want to let you know that they are like wrestling in the air.
Yes.
We get a "you'll come down eventually," I think, from Wonka. Does that happen in the movie? I think.
I don't remember.
It should have. People dive into the fountain and are licking the walls where the chocolate sprayed from the fountain.
Jesus Christ.
It's insane. Wonka throws shit in the fountain, and then the chocolate turns purple. Ew. No.
No.
Don't like that.
Not necessary.
So then, chapter 28, we swap to Scrub It and Bleacher, which is the after credits scene. They put this here. Much better, thank God. They eat the evidence. And here's the thing. I did not realize that's what they were doing in the movie. I thought they were disguising themselves.
Oh.
Did they say eat the evidence? And I was just so zoned out because I was like, that's the end?
There was something, it was clear that that's what they were trying to do.
But in this version, they have hair down to their feet. So there you go.
Yeah.
Chapter 29, Dreams and Promises. Wonka gets out his birthday bar of chocolate and shares it. The bar is 7 years old. Could be worse.
True.
Could be worse. And him seeing his mom was very sweet.
Aw.
Chapter 30, Z. Noodle and Mom reunite. Noodle thanks him, and Wonka's like, "Very nice. It is now time to leave." Like Mary Poppins. Like it's very where he's like, "My work here is done. You no longer need me, and I'll fly into the sunset." You know, like
so a little less depressing, sad, alone Wonka.
We'll get to this in a moment.
Oh shit!
Hugo Loompa pops back up. I wrote, "God, I was really hoping the ending would be fixed," because at this point, with how the book was going, I just had this feeling that it wasn't going to end the same. And I was like,
yeah. Like there would be just a different emotional tone at the end.
Yeah. Hugo Loompa asks him about the chocolate factory, and Wonka, he's like, "My chocolate factory must be two things. It must be one big, two chocolate river."
We love a vision.
Requirements for the factory. So now our final chapter is Epilogue, Wonka. And I was like, oh no, we're going to get the factory. But then we open with Noodle. Noodle is happy with her mother in the library, and she's felt as if she'd been there her whole life. Her friend Willy Wonka had mysteriously disappeared. No one knew where he'd gone, and everyone missed his chocolate. All right? One night when she was about to go asleep, she found a note from her sink next to her sink from Willy. This is fucking crazy. Dear Noodle, I once promised you a lifetime supply of chocolate, and Willy Wonka always keeps his word. In your house, you've got hot and cold running water, but I've changed it. You've now got hot and chocolate. My chocolate.
Wait, whoa. Okay, hold on. That was an emotional whiplash. I thought we were about to get like the most touching and depressing letter.
No.
And it was like a one-off goodbye, but instead he's like, "I fucked up your plumbing."
I know. And I'm like,
I'd be like, this is not...
Noodle's mom being like, "How old is your friend?"
Can you imagine? You're like, okay, time to do the laundry. Fuck, it's all chocolate.
And her mom is like, "Noodle, we live in a public library.
Yeah, wait.
I fucked up your plumbing
What about people
irreparably.
allergic to chocolate? Like, there's just massive.
But also, it's such a Wonka thing to be like, I've given you a lifetime. Do I watch this? And I've completely replaced your cold running water with it.
Yeah, that's absolutely. That's so much. Wow, that's not the final note you'd really want. I thought I was ready to be like, this could have been.
We have a little
okay.
more. It's not totally
okay. Okay.
Whenever you drink it, I hope you'll think of me. I know I'll be thinking of you, your friend Willy Wonka. P.S. If you ever need to get in touch, just ask the little orange man with the green hair. Okay? And then she's like, oh my God, with this shit again. I swear to God. But then she sees tiny footprints on the ground and she follows them to find Hugo Loompa standing in the window. And Hugo Loompa does his weird little mechanical wings things and flies away to the factory, and the word Wonka lights up on the roof. And then the book ends. And I think that is a better ending than the movie.
That is, it would have been nice to have one more point of contact to show at least that there was the potential to continue.
And
that
I also
friendship
like that
and,
it turns him into a mystery man.
Yeah.
I like that it doesn't end with him.
Yeah.
I like that. I think this is a better ending to the movie.
I feel, I like the emotional, I mean, I don't know. I like the emotional weight of the original ending. I just wish that it just crushes me that it's suggested that Noodle finding her mom is officially like a cutoff for Wonka and he just has to aggressively be alone. So I do like this book ending
and
where
I
it's like there's still a single thread.
Where he's like, you get a lifetime supply of chocolate. He didn't do that. It's not like that felt like such a way to end the movie, to be like, come back anytime to redeem your lifetime.
And then it's still a little
chocolate.
goof. That's a little goofy, which is beautiful.
Him replacing her cold running water with chocolate. I was like, chocolate Jesus fucking Christ.
Bizarre. And that's kind of what Rolled Wonka would have done. Also, I think it's interesting to kind of, like you said, circle back to that. That's a Rolled Wonka thing for sure.
But I was just very impressed with this. I don't know. I had a good time. If you enjoy Wonka and are like hyper fixated on it, I think this would be a great time for you. You know,
it sounds like Patterson Joseph reading it in general. Yeah. An experience.
I think my positive feelings about it may be 80% because of Patterson Joseph's performance. I don't know how this book holds up outside of that. I was just like, wow, he really can do it all. Didn't know I'd become the Patterson Joseph fangirl, but apparently I am now.
Hey.
There you go. Maybe I'll read the book
Beautiful.
he wrote. But yeah, I think we learned some good things from it. It's not like crazy, but I did get excited when I was reading it. I think the coat and hat origin was exciting.
Yeah. I feel like we got to tie a bow on the ending as well, like you said. Like, we got to see more of the, like, dorky, make a couple more active mistakes Wonka. I'm still thrilled that we know about the coat and the hat and the cane. We know about the outfit. We know their origins, and it makes sense, and it fits his character and all that good stuff.
It felt good. It was a good... I enjoyed it. I appreciate that being the ending I can think of, even though, like, because they don't contradict each other. They both exist. You know, they can both exist, but I do think ending the movie on a note back with Noodle would have helped a lot. I will stand by that forever. I really hope they release a DVD with like deleted scenes and we see that. Like, just something, please, dear God.
Anything. Like you said, a letter would do it. That would do me good. I'd be good with that.
I just need something, man. It's so sad.
So devastating.
Because I think that ending does effectively position him as that man of mystery that he becomes later on, but still, by not letting us see him, it's like the ending of Maurice when he walks up into the dark.
Get out of here.
I knew it was coming.
Out of here.
I was like holding it back. Fun fact, if you ever watch the movie, you can track what order they filmed the shots in by tracking Hugh Grant's lip injury. I love it. Anyway. So yeah, I think I had a great time listening to it. I hope you had a good time learning about it. But I think it gave me some valuable information. It did make me realize some of the ways they could have punched up Timmy Wonka a little and made me not sad, but like, it's complicated. Do we consider movie novelization Wonka and movie Wonka different? Because I don't really.
I don't either.
Because a lot of these could be an extended cut. Do you know what I mean?
My idea, extended cut, Wonka's diaries, the things that again,
there's not much that
fit.
Actively contradict each other, you know?
Yeah. So I think a lot of those characters, I consider it, same Timmy Wonka.
Yeah. And I feel weird attributing some of these things to Timmy Wonka, but it is true. Like, those are his things, you know?
Yeah.
It's not substantially different enough for me to count it. The core of the character is still the same, but she definitely punched it up a little bit and made him a little more nuts. And I do think he could have used it, even though I love Timmy Wonka.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think it would have been a nice touch.
I may watch the movie again and be like, never mind, I'd never said anything wrong about Wonka.
That's true. That's fair.
But anyway, I think that's good. I can't believe Wonka's supposed to be 18. That's fucking crazy. But besides that, great learn. And also the fact that during that flashback when he's on the Oompa Loompa Island, he's 14. That's a 14-year-old 20.
So funny. That would have been really funny to see, like,
he grew
silly, goofy
so
teenager.
much in those 3 years.
Yeah.
They just composite him from the music video.
A little montage.
Yeah, they just take the clips of him on Homelander that show he was on when he was 16.
Philippe Desjardins.
Philippe Desjardins. They could just put him in from Dune. He looked way younger in that.
That's so true.
Anyway.
Well, beautiful. Thank you for relaying this back to us.
This is where we normally do our prequel predictions, or used to, but now what we do is we do Prediction Reckoning, because our listener Kate has seen this film more than anyone else and is here back to report and give us the details all the time. I also did some research. So girl with pigtails, immortal your own, and at the end when Nordal is pouring some glass of chocolate, that was good. That was a win for us. Mom Wonka is wearing an apron in one scene. Correct. Abacus Crush's glasses do not come off in shock. That's a bummer.
Damn.
There is no use your noodle reference, which is crazy. But there is
genuinely, but like, I'm kind of glad it didn't happen. But like, wild.
There are no horses. I forgot we predicted that, but we predicted horses, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
No chaise lounge. No sad pan to the sky. It doesn't invalidate the prediction because the emphasis of it is still the same, but not exact. So it's still just in the right area or very close. Wonka does not call Father Julius father. Probably the biggest disappointment for me.
Yeah.
And there was no barrier creation by Wonka.
Ah, man.
So I looked at some stuff. There was the ColourPop Wonka collab. There was a Makeup Revolution X Wonka that was focused around like the 1971 movie, but it came out like in late October. So that does coincide with the movie's release. So I put that as in the right area. Do you know what I mean? Like it is 1971 styled, but it is also a Wonka eyeshadow
it clearly was picking up on the marketing at the same time kind of thing, even though it wasn't. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Breyer's Wonka, no official ice cream of any kind in any capacity. So I'm just going to say wrong. Like there's no Breyers, there's no ice cream at all.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to come out 3 months after the movie.
No.
We have to have a cutoff time on these predictions. Obviously there was no Monty Python member in the film. So, bummer.
Wow.
But it is what
lovely.
Is.
Nice.
I will say, you're doing better than me predictions wise now.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, a little bit, not much,
insane.
but a little bit. We're at like 50% wrong and 25% correct.
Okay.
And then the middle ones are like in the middle. But you're like marginally doing better than me, and I'm
that's
not
wild.
pissed. No. Maybe if I got the teapot one correct, it would.
I'm just every episode we're gonna have for the rest of this podcast is just gonna be you playing a clip just to antagonize me.
I could find so many. I'll re-listen the whole podcast if I have to. Every Wonka Watch News is making Elaine reckon with things she said in the past on the podcast.
I just start crying every time we do this podcast, and then we just have to deal with my awkward emotions. Can you imagine if I just started doing that? I'll pop out.
We start going to counseling together.
You're just like, oh God, but
You've
we just started
on the
doing
podcast
couples therapy
before. That wouldn't be new for me. I've experienced
That's so true. It would be fine.
That happened so quick. Well, it was like day 2. All right.
Well, fabulous.
Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Wonka Watch. If you enjoyed, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Wonka Watch. And, share the podcast with your friends. We're in final days. There's, you can hop. Where the fuck is okay. We're good.
Oh, there she goes.
We're in the final days. And, anybody who wants to get on the train, and while we're still airing, be a good time to get them on. It's the time.
They have so much they can binge instantly.
So much to binge.
Ready to go.
Too many episodes to binge. Over 100 episodes on Wonka.
Oh my God.
More than any human should ever make.
And then, hey, if they want even more than that, they can go to our Buy Me a Coffee. buymeacoffee.com/WonkaWatch, where we had an episode where I told Felicia all about my IHOP experience, but I also, in the moment, recorded myself eating the IHOP food. And it was horrible. Watching it back, it was worse than I remember.
Watching it, it looks like you are spackling on those toppings because I've watched it now. It's wild. I genuinely recommend it. It was a great time. I did laugh very hard. I did watch it at like 1 a.m. after a bad nightmare.
Oh, wow. Well, what a beautiful thing to enter your dreams.
to view a new nightmare, but one I'm not experiencing. It's catharsis.
It's beautiful. First part is sober. Second part is CBD Delta 8 gummy. And that's where things...
And you are changed. You are changed.
I am
The vibes
very
are
changed.
different.
You can tell.
So, if to access the bonus content there, we have a little membership going on. And when you join the membership, we do a little song. And we have 2 people today. Woo!
Lolly. Woohoo.
So we have 2 people today. Here are their beautiful messages. First up is Kira. Hello again, Felicia and Elaine. It feels only yesterday I was sending you an email about the Chocolate Emporium on the same day you were recording the episode. I've been listening since the beginning, and I feel my Wonka journey would not be complete with you. Complete without you 2. Thank you for making one of the best podcasts I've listened to, and thank you for letting me join the Wonka cult you've made in the Wonka well. Also for the song, I would love for Elaine to mention Fickle Grubber because I love that frog so much. Love you guys.
Oh my gosh.
We love this.
I am so delighted. And I remember that moment. And I was like, you're
wild.
not going to believe this. But it's happening right now.
Yeah, it's happening like right now. And then our second person is Avery. They said, love the podcast. I can't wait to see where you guys go in the future, both with and without this podcast. You've got great pod chemistry. And thank you, Avery. We think so too. And that's why we both are doing podcasts together.
Yeah, there's a podcast after this. We'll keep saying it.
Yes.
There's a podcast after this. We'll drop more
Podcast
details
after
as we get closer, but
Look, you don't squander this kind of pod chemistry. You don't let that go to waste.
chemistry.
You can't let it go.
Oh my, whoa.
So scared.
I was going downtown and then I saw the frog. Hold on, wait.
It came in so hot.
It came in so hot. It's very loud. Hold on. I need to like reduce my volume. No. I didn't know when to pick up. That was a hypomania.
Just started.
I just gotta go. I already did a Western sheriff thing, so I need to do
Your
like.
face was so scared.
I was like, I can pick it up, but I'm like, I can't. I'm like, oh my god, I can't. What's happening? Fuck! And then I started. I was like, that wasn't where I should start.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna count you down. We'll do that.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I was looking for a frog in a little cavern, and that's when I came across Fickle Grubber. Ribbit, the Fickle Grubber. And that's what led me to the secret part of the cavern, and that's where I found Kira. Kira was the guardian of the secret tomes. And Fickle Grubber said, hey, why you let me in? And Kira said, no, I can't let you in. And Fickle Grubber said, why can't you let me in? And Kira said, well, Avery's there. Who is Avery? Fickle Grubber said, you don't want to know who Avery is. But Kira then finally said, hey, you can go in if you give me chocolate. And go, Fickle Grubber goes, hey, looks like I have some chocolate in my tuxedo. And that's when Kira sees that Fickle Grubber is a chocolate spy. Also, Kira is a chocolate spy. They bond over being chocolate spies. Kira opens up the door and is like, go in, have fun. I won't tell you about Avery, it's fun. Fickle Grubber's like, thank you. Fickle Grubber walks into the dark room. Fickle Grubber hears the growling in the night. Here comes Avery. Oh, what a sight. Avery, coming over to Fickle Grubber in the most terrifying outfit. And Fickle Grubber's like, oh my gosh, you're so scary. And Avery is like, well, thank you for inviting me. And Fickle Grubber's like, I entered your home. What are you talking about? And that's the fable of the cavern.
That was beautiful. It was weird in the beginning, but then it got like good. Like at the beginning, you were finding your footing.
I did start out with such immense fright, but we got there. Yeah. Avery, I hope you enjoy being this mystery. I don't know if you were a monster. I don't know if you were a final boss. I don't know if you were like the long lost cousin of Fickle Grubber, but welcome. Kira, great job duty on the door, I guess. Or maybe you didn't. You just let Fickle Grubber in. But
yeah.
What a mystery and cliffhanger.
With that all being said, we spent today talking about the movie novelization. That's
after already watching the movie and talking about Wonka for fucking millions of years.
Yeah, we're on episode 111, and we read another book. Another book.
And we learned about the source of his outfit. It's just so fucking not important because who the fuck cares?
And it's fucked up that we cared. It's bad that we cared about it. Like,
yeah.
That's the fucked up part. It's not that was in there. It's that I especially was like, I literally heard that and was like, I can't wait to tell.
It was a burning question we still had. Like, It is 2024. Why do I still fucking care? But I do.
Doing this
And
since
it's just
2021. As Travis McElroy said in Shock.
oh my god. Oh my god. Yep.
It's not that important.
It's not that important. Bye.
Bye.